Good afternoon everybody, and welcome along to my very messy workroom for my latest demonstration. This is for the Peg Doll Angel. This is my little Peg Doll Angel. You can see she's made with what I call a dolly peg, rather than a peg, a crocodile peg that you open up like that. She's got a lovely silk fabric skirt with a net overlay. She's got little wings, little praying hands, a nice little halo, shiny hair. Very, very simple to make. After the demo, I'll be putting up details of where you can buy a kit to make her with, and then you can rewatch the video demo and make your own. They'll sit on the tree branches, on your tree branches with their peg legs, or you can add a little hanging loop if you want to hang it up on your tree. So I'm going to get started just now, so bear with me a second. I'm going to move you around so the camera's pointing so you can see my hands, so just bear with me. If you are joining in today or having a look, send me a message to say hello, then at least I know I'm not talking to myself. I'm just doing the one thing I forgot to get ready and plugging in my glue gun. So I'll just cast a bit more light on it. Put on my favourite Christmas present ever, my daylight lamp that my husband bought me. So let's just position it so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. Hope everybody can see that okay. So as I said, please feel free to comment and say hello. Let me know somebody's watching. Right, so this is what you'll need, and this is what you'll get in your kit as well. Your dolly peg, a length of ribbon, which makes the bodice of the dress, 2 layers of netting for the skirt, and 1 layer of silk, a piece of cord that you use for the hair, and the pipe cleaners, that the pink ones are for the hands, and 2 lengths. The shorter one is to make the halo, and the longer one is for the wings. All you'll need apart from that is glue. I use a glue gun, but a lot of people don't have a glue gun, and if you've got young children wanting to make them, glue gun's not a good idea because it gets very hot. So you might want to, you can use PVA glue. The only problem with PVA is you do have to leave it to dry because it takes longer to dry. So if you're all ready, we'll get started. So first of all, get your peg. Now the way, if you wanted to make this at home without the kit, the way that you cut out the right size of material is to, just bear with me a second. I've put the material away and I can't find it now. So you need a square of material, and the idea is that you want it to come down to sort of the feet of the angel. So fold it into 4. This is the easy way to cut a circle. And you can fold it again if you want, even into 8. And just measure it against there. So the point comes to about what would be the waist, if you like, and you can see that the feet come about there. Then you would cut. Now because you folded it into 8, you're just cutting like a semicircle, so you're just going to cut along the bottom, kind of circular. It doesn't really have to be, it doesn't have to be very accurate. So you're cutting it like that, and then at the other end you just cut the point out to create the waist, and then what you end up with, scissors down, is a circle with a hole in it, which you then just cut up from one edge to the middle, and you've got your skirt piece. And you just do the same with the netting. So it's very, very simple to do. Right, so we're going to start by making the shapes with the pipe cleaners. So the shorter piece of pipe cleaner is your halo, like that. And the way you do that is you just want a circle at the end of your one end of the pipe cleaner. So I always bend it round the peg because that seems to be about the right size for the halo. And then you just twist that together to form the circle, slide it off. Then when you attach it, you can just bend it so it attaches like that, so it sort of hovers above the head of the dolly. Can you see okay? Right, so that's the halo made. Just giving myself a bit more light. Right, the wings are formed with a figure of 8. So take the two ends and fold them to the middle, like that. And then just twist it on each side. Pinch it in the middle and just twist, and there's your wings. And then you can just bend them into a sort of wing shape. So it looks like an 8. Okay. Right, my glue's warmed up now, so we can start to dress the doll. So the skirt bit goes on first. You simply put a blob of glue on your dolly. If you are using hot glue, be very careful because the fabric, it will go through the fabric if you press too hard. So I'm putting some glue all the way around where I want the fabric to stick. And then you start with one end and glue it on. Press it to the glue like that, gently. And then you just simply wind it round. And just keep winding it round until you get to the end of your circle. Might need to add a little bit more glue if you've covered up what was underneath. As I say, if you use PVA, you can just use a little dab of PVA. It will stay wet, so you're going to need to leave it to dry for a bit in between each section probably. Is there anybody there? I don't know whether there's any comments yet. It's quite difficult to see when I've got it pointed down. So that's the last dab of glue, and that's the skirt done. Now the hot glue will settle very quickly, so then I can go on to the next layer, which is the net. So we've 2 layers of net. Now be even more careful with this if you're using hot glue because it's even thinner than so one blob to start it, and spread a little bit round. Okay. You will get a bit stringy bits from hot glue, but don't worry about it because you can peel them off afterwards when they're set. So let's get this. In the same way, you just wrap it round, keeping level with the material, pulling the skirt down and keeping it so that it's just the little inner circle bit that's sticking. Doesn't have to be too precise or even, because it's quite nice to have that sort of little bit of a raggedy hem like that. So that's the first piece on. You might, if you're quick with your glue, be able to stick the second piece to the same glue because it's netting and it's narrow. But I think I might have to put a bit of extra on. Okay, so just keep running that round again, making sure it's the narrow inner circle bit that you're sticking, to get that nice layer of, my glue sticks run out now, that nice layer of lace to give you that like fluffy skirt look. Just put another blob of glue on to finish it all off. There we go. So there you can see it looks a nice, she's got a nice skirt on now. So the next thing we're going to stick on, and I'm going to take advantage of that blob of glue there, is the halo, because we want to cover the back of the halo up with the bodice of the skirt. So you just basically just stick that end of the halo at the waist like that, and then this piece of ribbon is going to be the bodice of the dress. Can you see on this one there? So what we're going to do is, again, dab of glue on the back. I'll keep all these bits at the back just because the wings are going to go on the back, so they will cover it up a bit. So starting with one end like that, cut on an angle there, then you literally wind that round and bring it to the back, and then you can cut it once it's stuck down at the back. So now you can see she's got a skirt and a bodice. So the next thing to go on is the arms. Now you can make her with or without arms. When I originally did this is my original Peg doll, I did it without arms, but then I thought it looked a bit strange, so I decided to put arms on. And the idea is that they look like praying hands, but we might have to twist them together there. She keeps moving. So take your peg and wind it round to the front to get the shape. Then maybe twist it once and then cut the peg. You can just cut pipe cleaners with scissors like that, and then twist it up so it looks like the hands are together. Just a blob of glue again, and just seal it there at the back. And so the next thing you can do is put the wings on. The glue sticks not quite working properly. There we go. So take your wings and just press them onto the glue. And at this point, if you're using PVA glue, I would leave it to set a bit, because all those bits need to be pretty secure on. The one thing we haven't done, which maybe I should have done before I put the halo on, was the hair. But I'll just move it out of the way and show you how to do that. Now I'm using this nice shiny cord for hair. This one is like a creamy colour. I used yellow on that one, but I haven't got any more of the yellow, so it's basically just a case of coiling the cord round the head. So a blob of glue on the top to start it off. And then glue round the head, not on the face. So the face will be where your hands are at the front. So just be generous with it. And then what we're going to do is coil the cord round the head. So starting there at the back. If your cord starts to unwrap like that, if you just touch the ends of it with a lighted match or a candle flame, it will just seal it up with it. Won't set fire to it, but it will kind of seal the ends. So you wind your cord round and round in a circle, and then just go into the middle of the spiral. When you get to the middle, just snip it off and fold in the last little bit to the middle. So that's quite simple. The hair. Very last thing for your Peg Doll Angel is to draw a face on. I just do, I don't know whether you can see that, little closed eyes, and I like to draw them so that they're little half circles like that. You don't need much of a face. It just, what you can do is maybe put little flicks like eyeliner at the corner. can't see that because it's a bit dark. Let's tilt it up a bit there. Can you see? And then just pull her halo up and she's finished. So that's the Peg Doll Angel. Very, very simple. And as I say, I'm going to make up some kits with all the materials in them, so you don't need to go out and buy like loads of big, you know, big pieces of fabric and things like that. The kits will be £5. They can be posted because they're flat. They'll come as a large letter, so it's just £1 postage if you're needing them posting. Or if you're local, you can I can either drop them off for you or you can pick them up. So I hope you like this. I hope somebody's been watching. As I say, if you didn't watch live, you can always come back to it when you've got your kit. And thank you for watching. Next week, I'm going to be making Nordic gnomes. You'll have seen them, the little flat gnomes, little fat gnomes with big pointy hats. You don't see the eyes. And I'm going to make them out of a sock. So if you wanted to join in with that next week, all you need to do is get yourself a Christmassy sock, a bag of rice and some felt, and that is all you need. Once again, I'll be making kits up for those. So if you wanted to join in next week, you can get a kit during the week. I'll get kits ready today. Just send me a message and let me know if you want one. And that's it. Thank you for watching.